Good day, everybody. Quick disclaimer that me and Digger do not condone or advise any drug use or illegal drug use on this page. And if you're not 18 or 21 or whatever the legal age is, please leave. But Digger's on the move. And the plants are looking good. We are day 9 of veg. We're getting some good growth. Definitely moving on up and getting some, like I said, some decent growth going. Every day we're seeing new, so that's good. That's what we want to see. Let's come down here and see. This was the bigger plant. This one was looking really good, getting the branching going already. This one over here, starting to see. And what were we going? Oh yeah, the creek. We had all kinds of issues last night. The pulse meter helped us out. We do offer these on discount. You can save 10%. Discount code yellow skunk. But having this in the room, man. I mean, if I didn't, then last night we would have walked in here and it would have been probably 90% humidity because the dehu over here had clogged up and had shut off, because it shuts off when this back bucket back here fills up. So the line running from the back of the dehu into here, the line had gotten clogged up, had backed up the water flow, filling up the bucket, shutting off the dehu, and yeah, humidity spiked. So the VPD went way down. Like, I looked at it and it was like around 0.8 something. I was like, holy, what the hell's going on? The humidity was like close to 80. It was 11. The lights were off, of course, and it was like I had just left out. It was crazy because all that happened in like 3-hour time frame. It hadn't been very long. But then again, it probably wasn't. It had just, the bucket had filled up in that 3 hours and shut the dehu off, and that's when everything went awry. But also I was wondering why I wasn't getting the water. Like, I was noticing a lot of water evaporation in the pond. For the last 2 or 3 days I could not figure out. I was like, what the hell is going on? And and boom, there's our answer. The water, here, I'll show you. That could drip in with that. The dehu wasn't dripping water in, and it was backed up. Like I said, filled up the tank, shut the dehu off, and everything went crazy. It just shows you the importance of having a dehumidifier in something like this. That is I think it's a Frigidaire. It's a Frigidaire dehu. It isn't an AC Infinity or anything. You don't want to go, I'm telling you, in industrial stuff, you do not want to go with the tent stuff. Like, in a room like this, having an AC Infinity or a Vivo Sun or any of those dehu, they're all good products, but they're not made for industrial. They're made for tents. Small areas. This is a 500 square foot. That dehu is rated for 1,500 square feet. So I tripled the size dehu that I really needed for the size of the room, but I knew I would need that dehu, and I want one that's built well. They're known for building things like this. They're a refrigerator company. That's what they do. They build stuff for a living. Their stuff lasts. So if you want to get like a GE or a Frigidaire, go with. I recommend Frigidaire myself. I have a spare one, so they're not too cheap, but they're not too expensive. So depending on what you need, they'll last a long time. The copper coils in there are good. They don't leach that heavy metal, or at least they haven't so far. We check it once a month or so. Probably need to go ahead and check it again anyway. And if you want to check it, checking heavy metal in your water is super easy. Go on Amazon, get you some drinking water tests. Okay, 18-in-1 test strips. Tests for everything. Heavy metals, nitrates, sulfites. Easy peasy. You just take a little bit of water and put it in there, and it takes like 2 seconds. Tells you if you got heavy metal. If we had heavy metal, then we just have to replace the dehu. There is no replacing. Or I guess you could if you know what you're doing, but I wouldn't try and replace the corals. I mean, it'd be a pain in the ass. They're only like $200, $250 for the dehu. So just go get us a new dehu. You know, it's the cost of doing business. If you want to do business, it's gonna cost you money. This thing is crazy. It has grown. This is the Joshua tree. It has definitely seen some growth, but it's slow. It popped up quick and then just kind of shut down. But we've only been in 18 hours of light for 9 days. So we'll see how this desert plant reacts, or tree, so to speak. Probably should cut the bottom of the pot off. Worms and isopods. Worm is going up through there's a root. Yeah, we need to take the bottom of that pot off. Let this thing just go right down into here. Or just take it out of the pot and bury it right here. What do you think? Then again, if I ever did want to move it, I probably could just cut those roots off and pull it out, but I don't know. What do y'all think I should do? Take it out of the pot, put it just right in the bed, and let a freaking Joshua tree grow right here in the middle, or keep it in the pot and be able to move it around? I think I probably should move it around. Then again, I think that's a good spot for a tree. Maybe we should put it over in diggers. But then again, it ain't gonna get no much light over there. You can see the light difference over there. The Monstera doesn't need a lot of light. If it did get a lot of light, we'd be in trouble. That's why I don't. That's why I went with only 3 Grandmasters. These Grandmaster LEDs. I wanted one over there, one here, nothing over here. So the residual light from these, or I guess whatever you call it, the shine from this light is, and then we have the UV A and B and heat lamp over here. So fish ponds getting plenty of indirect light. That's what I meant to say, indirect light. Digger over here, he's getting that indirect light. He's not getting any UV. The UV would have to come from down here. That's why we placed his water tray down here, trying to lure him, trying to make. He always goes high. That's, you can, if you can't tell it, this raises up. It's like a hill slope. He always wants to go to the top of the hill. So he'll if I put him down here, he'll hang out down here for a little bit, and then he'll come back in, he'll walk around, he'll come over to this side, and then he'll just walk on back up and go back to his Monstera. He'll always end up right back up in that hole there. And he must have woke up, because when I came in here last night, he was sitting there. His eyes were closed. And he didn't look, he looked like he was, he looked like he needed some water. So we put him some water in a little dish and put him down here, and he sucked that right on up. Now he's moving around. He did his little nap. He had probably a couple weeks of napping. What do you think, guys? You know I'm here. You know I'm here. Alright. There's a few. That's enough of them. Scooter's getting just ginormous. Look at this. Try to get a couple pictures there of all three of them together. You can see the mollies are going to town. I haven't seen any baby mollies. I've been waiting. I know it could take a while. A couple months. They've been in here for about a month and a half now. You missed it. Funny, they know where to go. Get out of my way. How much bigger Scooter is than Cooter. I can definitely tell the sound. I'm going to start listening to more. I should have picked up on the noise, on the sound of the flow of the water. It wasn't there. Like now that I look back on it, I could hear that water flowing, hitting. I can hear it over here hitting the water, and I go back and I think, I was like, was I hearing that? Like I wasn't seeing that flow, like I couldn't, that flow right there. So these are things that I'm gonna make sure I keep an eye on now. These are things that, the maintenance that we're learning, because like I said, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. You guys are seeing it, just as I'm seeing it. So as it builds up, as that algae and grass and everything build up especially up in the top portion, we really need to be conscious of the sound of the water, make sure we have it, and if we lose it, there's a plug somewhere, like something is clogged up and we need to unclog. When things start to sit still, that's bad, especially in the aquarium world, or like the aquatic side of this needs to flow all the time. Like stagnant water is not good water, or I can't say it's not good, but bad things grow in stagnant water. So we need that flow. And I know we had, like say up in here, we had to really clean it out. See, we can see the rocks now, whereas before we could not see. So the water was just stagnant right here. It was just not flowing. It was just sitting still. It was creating a microclimate. And inside that microclimate, bad things are brewing. Funky, stinky, swamp-like things that we don't want in here. So as long as we keep the flow and the wick, so as long as the sand and the silt and the clays and the organic matter that are piled up along the edges of the creek where we want it are still wicking water, it's going to wick that water right into the soil pockets where the plants can get it. So let's say, all this is being wicked. You can see all this stays wet, stays moist, very moist, and then when we get into the soil, the grasses start to hold things together where they didn't used to. So that water is being wicked a lot better now. And it's being held here where we can just go right down a little bit and you'll start to see worms, and you'll start to see the soil food web at its finest. Look at that. That's the soil food web. That's the poop loop. What we're looking at is, I have no idea, like baby worms and isopods and springtails and nightcrawl. I mean not road beetles, and I didn't go anywhere. Look, it's right on top. This is where everything wants to be, especially once we get these grass roots. And this grass starts pushing those exudates down into that soil, starts feeding these microbes, we feed the top critters, the mites. Look at the mites. It's like the soil is just moving. Now a lot of people go, oh Lord, that's bad. No, that is the soil food web. That is good. That is exactly what we want to see. All those things down through there, like those fungus gnats that we had over here, gone. Worm is running through that algae right now. All those fungus gnats we had from that IMO are stuck over here in the IMO. Like anything that comes over here. I remember when I moved this, I had fungus gnats. The larva doesn't have anything to eat, or is being consumed itself by the critters. So anything like fungus gnat larva, or anything, any type of larva really, can't establish itself. Other than what's down here, like that, the fungus gnat just can't survive. And the worms are just all through here, right on top. I don't have to hardly move anything. So that means underneath, we dig down a little bit. There's that old root, almost gone now. See, anywhere we go, it's just non-stop organic matter breaking down. That's good looking stuff right there, huh? So over time, what these guys are working on right now, in about 4 or 5 months, well, after these are done, all this stuff will be broken down and it'll be time to relayer another layer of IMO, and we just keep boom, 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 and we build the soil. So you notice how, we keep, if it wasn't breaking down, then I'd have a mound of soil here over the last year if it wasn't breaking down. But it is breaking down, and we keep adding more IMO as it's breaking down, feeding the critters, building organic matter, building carbon, all the things that we need to do over the course of time. And over the next year or two, like I said, I was expecting 3 years. Like at the 3-year mark, we should have some killer soil in here, growing some killer stuff that we don't have to amend. We won't have to amend it. We won't have to feed it. We won't have to do anything but plant, have a good seed, good genetics, start the seed well. Eventually I'll be just pulling a plug out of basically these, or I'll just start the seed right here. But starting seeds in here in the bed is really, I haven't tried it in a pot like this. I mean, I brought them in as babies. I haven't actually cut the bottom of the pot off, stuck it down in here, and put a seed in the bed in here. I always do that indoors. I mean, in my house. In here, I just scared that like the one time but I did plant directly into the bed. I didn't put them in pots. So I think the next run, we're just gonna start them right here and see if they can make it. Just getting that leaf off of my elephant ear here. I did that just by sticking that rock, pushing that thing over a little bit. Simple solution to a not a very big problem. Look at this thing, is just going crazy. All the way over here now, almost to the light. It's like it's going to the heat lamp. But just like, what, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, it was back here, this. And it has done all of this in just a matter of a few weeks. And that, like I said, with a constant source of water, light, shit gets crazy in here. Like, all of this is going to be covered. Hopefully you can see it growing up in the grass. See this dog fennel, like it's way over the creek. You see the roots right here. Shrimp, 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 shrimp. Shrimp are badass, man. I think shrimp are like one of the coolest things in this. Like, they don't give a shit. Shrimp do not give a shit. They know they're faster than anything in here. I've seen shrimp literally sit on that rock right there. Cooter and Scooter will swim right up to it, and that damn shrimp, if you had, like, if you could see it, it would look like a mussel man. Just it blows itself up. It stands its ground, and it knows it can be eaten. It knows it can't do anything to the turtle, but it also is not scared of it. And then when it does, if it gets too close, the shrimp just are so fast. Watch how fast it is. Look, they don't even care that I'm here. Look, it's even gonna come up on me. It's gonna fight me. Look. Get off me. Yeah, you don't care. Billy Badass. Billy Badass. Look at it. They even get on my finger. Some of them, watch. If you could see them. I mean, they're so fast. They're like lightning bolts. I was trying to get one to just shoot across real quick. Did you see that? I mean, they're so fast. Lightning bolt fast. We've got some, the flash fast. That's what I was looking for. Snails, little freshwater snails. These are in here by the tens of thousands. But they love sitting on this Kimmy Pure bag. It looks like a isopod chilling on there. Isopods can swim. That's a guarantee. That's a proven fact. Isopods don't mind the water, but they can't stay in there forever, but they can definitely go from here to there in the water. And here's a root. This is when we cleaned the creek out. We were cleaning all this out. Exposed that root from this And the lucky bamboo. But yeah, everything is back to normal. Let's say we definitely do. We had to do that maintenance. We had to get that grass out of the creek. Gotta keep that water flowing. Gotta get this. Make sure that this grass here stays in check. We can't let it grow completely up through the creek. It'll clog everything up, and we won't get the flow we need. So we just got to pull out what we don't want, and that's what I did. We pile it up here, or just bury it all along in the grass there, and you can see over here that all the grass that we pulled out from around there, and we just put it right down here in the soil. This is where it needs to be, that nice layer of mat that covers that soil. Let the worms do their thing. And that's it for today. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Like I said, we're day 9 of veg, and the plants are looking great. Haven't done anything but a little FAA mixed with water, rainwater and FAA. Just a tablespoon of FAA and a gallon of water right into the cow pots. We did that, 9 days ago when we first put them in. So we'll do that again here, probably day 10, either today or tomorrow. We can do that anytime now. Just give them another shot of FAA. Fish amino acid. And that'll be it. And I appreciate everybody hanging out. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.